If your Avalon Bottleless Water Cooler is beeping or chiming similar to this, your leak sensor most likely got wet, either from a filter change or from a real leak inside your unit. On the A5 water cooler, your lights will flash all at the same time, and this is similar to the A12 countertop unit. And on the A13 freestanding and the A13 countertop, it will look like this with the lights flashing on the top. If you have an A7 or an A8, the unit will only beep or chime. If you have an A5 or A7 bottleless water cooler, please follow the steps in this portion of the video. First, you're gonna unplug the water cooler from the grounded wall outlet, and that will stop the beeping. Then we're gonna open up the bottom cabinet, and we're gonna locate the leak sensor, which is in the back left corner, held in by the screw. And we're gonna unscrew that and lift it up out of place. With this screw undone, we're gonna go ahead and lift the leak sensor up out of place and out of the little well. You can actually see there's water collecting under there, but for right now, we're just gonna pull the sensor out so we can dry it. So we're just gonna dry it off completely, make sure there's no water here, just with a paper towel. Make sure there's no residual water left on here because the sensor is extremely sensitive and will continue to go off if not completely dry. All right, once that is dry, I'm gonna put that to the side and we're gonna look inside this little well where the water is, and we're gonna start soaking that up. This can take a little bit, depending on how much water is down there. So just gonna let that paper towel soak up everything it needs to. Okay, got up a lot of the water. Let me grab one more paper towel just to get all the residual that might be around here to prevent that sensor from going off again. There's just a little bit more right there. All right. Now that that is dry, we're gonna go ahead and put the sensor back into place. So it's gonna sit just like this, right back here. And you'll actually see there's like a little circle piece. So we're gonna line it up right there. I'm gonna grab the screw and put that back in. Once we have the screw back in place, holding the leak sensor, we're gonna go ahead and plug the water cooler back into the grounded wall outlet. We're gonna give it a moment or two to go cycle through the lights. Close that bottom cabinet door. You'll see on your A5 and A12 units, they will stop blinking and the unit will no longer be beeping. On the A7 units, it just will stop beeping. On your A13 unit, please follow the steps in this portion of the video. We're gonna first unplug the unit from the grounded wall outlet. That will stop the lights flashing and beeping. We're gonna open up the bottom cabinet and locate the leak sensors in the bottom cabinet. So the leak sensors are back here in the back left-hand corner, similar to the A5 and the A7, but the A13 has a second type of leak sensor. So we're gonna take a look at those two. We're gonna locate the first sensor here and unscrew the screw. So I've already loosened this, and we're gonna lift it up out of place, and we're gonna dry the sensor to the side. So I'm gonna grab a paper towel, just kind of dry it off, because any residual water on the sensor will cause the cooler to keep beeping. All right, once that's dry, I'm actually just gonna put this to the side for right now, and we're gonna take a look at the mechanical leak sensor right here, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and first turn off the water valve. So we're gonna put that to the off position. All right, so now once that's off, we're gonna disconnect the water connection right here. So right before the mechanical sensor. So I'm gonna take off the blue clip right there, just put that to the side. And then what we're gonna do is there's a little ring right here. I'm gonna push that ring down and pull the white tube out at the same time. Now, when you pull this out, a little bit of water might still come out that was left over in the water line, okay? So now that we have the pressure released here, we're gonna go ahead and dry up any residual water. After drying the little well right down in here and releasing the pressure, we're gonna go ahead and start putting it back together. So we're gonna put the blue clip back onto this connection, and we're gonna put the white tube back in and push it in until it can't go in it anymore. Okay, once that's pushed back in, we're gonna turn this water line back on. So we're gonna turn it back so it's in line with the water line, okay? Now we're gonna take the leak sensor here and put this back into place just like this. And then we're gonna screw that back into place. After we have screwed the leak sensor back in place, we're gonna go ahead and plug the unit back into a grounded wall outlet. And the lights are going to cycle through, and the unit shouldn't be beeping or flashing lights any longer. Go ahead and close the bottom cabinet door. Now, if the unit is still beeping and the lights are still flashing, just double check that leak sensor to ensure it's completely dry. If you're still having trouble, please give us a call at 1-800-256-0695 or email us at support@avalonh2o.com.